Okay.
Okay, that's a little close. It'll be all right.
That's on.
Yeah.
All right. Week 2. Week 1 down / Thursday games. Which, if you're a Baltimore fan, apologies. Because that shit sucks. Didn't see that one coming.
Nope. We are 0 for 2 in picking Thursday games, so
Okay.
hopefully that won't continue on into the week because we've sucked so far. All right, so step 1, we're going to talk about the biggest surprise of the year coming to week 1.
Right.
So what do you think was the biggest surprise? What
All
did
right.
you just not see coming?
So, okay, when I say
There's
big,
a lot.
When I say there is a lot. So when I
Pick
say
a
big
big one.
surprise, I'm just going to talk about something that maybe everyone assumed or was thinking, but like honestly, I wanted it to happen, but I wasn't sure it was going to happen. And I'm going to say that's the Mahomes and Hill connections. Like preseason, right? Preseason, everyone was like, "Oh my God, these guys just won't stop touching the ball," and I'm like, "There's no way that that's gonna develop into actual thing." And then you watch the game and you go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill's a freaking flash with cleats, and Mahomes has got an arm. I mean, we knew he had an arm, but
to actually
holy
watch him
crap.
play and sling the ball everywhere
Against like
with
against
accuracy.
first string defense, I know the Chargers were down a couple players, but still, like
You know-
Hill and Mahomes are legit.
I feel like if we had been watching football for like 2 years, we would have bought into what everyone was saying. We'd be like, "Oh, look at all the weapons that they have. They have this
Right.
guy and this guy and this guy," and we would have been like, "They're going to be amazing."
Exactly.
But us being vets, or pretty much
We've
vets,
watched football long enough to go.
Oh,
Everything that everybody says
we're
is
like,
true.
it seems good on paper, but will it play out?
Right. So I guess that's my biggest surprise is that it's real. It's
how
clear.
good their offense was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear it's real. What about you?
And what's fun is that we're in a 40-man pick'em league, so I get to see who everyone picks. And there was a lot of people that had picked the Chargers to win that. It was probably like 60-40. So a lot of people were feeling good about the Chargers, even though they were down a bunch of people.
And to be clear, I wanted to change it, but we couldn't. It was too late. Like
once
once we found out about the
Bosa,
defensive guys,
yeah.
we were like, ah.
But
All right, so yours?
it's really not a surprise. Like, I'm not surprised. I'll be surprised if it happens again this year. Jared Cook.
Yeah.
Jared Cook. Man, Jared Cook.
He's that guy you learn to love and hate
5 or 6 years
every other season.
of Jared Cook. No, you hate him every season. I don't know how many times in game 1. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
I don't think last year. But he put up a 30-point fantasy game, and it's like, this is it. He's going to be his potential. So my biggest surprise is that he did it again. I thought he was finally done and out, and I was never going to have to worry about liking Jared Cook ever again. But here he is, being the man for Gruden.
Yeah.
How do we like that? But also, obviously, it was an easy thing to say Fitzpatrick. Neither of us said Fitzpatrick because the entire world, that was a big surprise. Them in Tampa
Just
Bay.
Tampa Bay beating the, or I don't want to say beating the shit, scoring the shit out of on offense.
Yeah,
nobody
48 points.
And it's like, do you want to say Tampa Bay is the biggest surprise, or is it the Saints' defense is the biggest surprise? Well, you don't know yet.
Right.
We won't know until week 2. But
Was the outlier to last week, or was the outlier last year?
But I will say
The
this.
Saints' defense usually sucks.
If you go back to the last video, which I don't recommend, but if you do, we actually bring up the subject of Fitzpatrick. And
we got to fix this. I can't do this blurry.
It just moves when we move. I don't know how to fix it.
Okay. All right, go. Sorry.
If you go back, we talk about Fitzpatrick, and you talk about, like, there's no way he's going to be good. And I say, I agree with you. There's no way. But he always has shown, like, when I'm saying this because this could have been it, he has about 3 games a year when he played for Tennessee, when he played for Houston, because the boy can sling a ball. He's going to throw about 14 interceptions in the process sometimes.
Yeah.
But the boy can sling a ball. So maybe that was that day.
Maybe.
We'll find out.
Yeah, maybe everyone was sleeping on him, and
Yeah.
that's what happens because they all
Or maybe
they're all NFLers.
Maybe being a Harvard grad, he was tired behind playing behind Jameis Winston. He's like, I'm going to show him.
All right. Possible early bust from what we've seen. Who kind of crapped the bed and may continue to crap the bed?
Mine's easy, so I'm gonna let you go first.
All right,
Because yours are probably different. Yours are gonna be like out of the box. Mine's
I
not.
see. Mine is a little out of the box. Two of mine are in the box. I believe it was like three different things. Amari Cooper. Everyone was high on him once again, and he did nothing once again. And there's no excuse. There's no excuse for him sucking. Yes, the Rams are amazing, but a catch, one, when Jared Cook goes off for 10 and 200 yards. Also,
talk about that later.
also the other tight end that I thought would be amazing in a comeback, Jimmy Graham.
I called that one. I didn't like him all pre-time. I'm not saying I did, but I was the one that was underselling him.
I want him to score 10 touchdowns. He's going to score 10 touchdowns. Like, I can't help but think it. But that was the perfect setup for him to score a touchdown. Then again, it was long bombs. They weren't in the red zone very much. So, to be fair,
Yeah.
but I am a little cautious of it now.
I will go on the record that if Jimmy Graham scores 10 touchdowns this season, the way you're going to get him is you're going to get 3 touchdowns one game, 4 touchdowns one game, and a touchdown another game. Like he's going to have just big games and shitty games.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, he will. But don't most tight ends.
But playing for Aaron
Don't
Rodgers,
most tight ends.
yeah, you're right.
But you know, one of my views, and this isn't total, this is week to week.
Mm-hmm.
Any given week, no matter who they play, because of how loaded they are, which you just said, Kansas City Chiefs players.
You can't go wrong.
Tyreek Hill put up 40 points, but look what their stud running back and stud tight end did. Nothing. So I'm just saying, they're gonna put up points total. I think the best person to have is Mahomes on that team
because he's going to be the one giving them
because he's
the ball.
the one delivering all the
Right.
points. But I would be cautious week to week on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, fair enough.
yep. All right, your possible early bust.
Easy. So when I say early bust, what I think of is someone who's drafted within the first 2 to 3 rounds that I don't think is worth their value
Amari
at
Cooper,
all.
pretty much.
I'll say so. Amari Cooper's on there, but mine is someone who I've been down on since since he came into the league, and it's easy enough for everyone to know who's ever watched the video. It's Derrick Henry because I told you he sucks ass. He sucks ass.
He didn't go into 2 or 3.
Bro, he sucks ass. And it's not that he personally, as an athlete, sucks ass. Tennessee, as a running back efficient offense, has always sucked ass since Eddie George.
Right, but I think I may have said it last week. I don't really remember last week. Henry came out and said that their scheme is to run outside, which is what Deion Lewis does.
Exactly, I said that.
But Deion Lewis is good, but yeah.
He's not a stretch play running back.
Yeah, I love Derrick Henry early, but the sooner it got to our time,
And
I
trust
don't like
me,
him.
that's going to be... It's not that Miami's defense is good, okay? That is not the case.
One person I didn't write down, what about Royce Freeman?
I wouldn't call that a bust yet, but I definitely have him on my...
Went
It
early.
got dark as piss.
Yeah, I said Royce Freeman, and even the phone knows.
Yeah, they were like,
whoa. All right. Yeah, we'll move on for that. But that's someone that I'm watching.
Yeah, that's clear.
And that'll come up when we talk about waiver
He's probably
pickups.
in my top 5 of... I don't know.
Yeah. So we're going to do in this little segment waiver pickups. In our league, we're going to talk about what the best waiver pickup we think was for somebody and who the best players are still on our waivers.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was I made sure that they were under 40% owned.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if you look at our league, there's some people that are 80%
Right.
owned. Like you just dropped Sammy. I just dropped who I love and still kind of love and might end up picking back up, Marquise Goodwin.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Alfred Morris. Okay.
Alfred Morris, yeah, that's a good... He's actually a good play this week, but
you had to drop him.
I'm not going to play him.
Right.
I'm not on my team.
It's all based on what league you're in. Like, in Alfred Morris in some leagues, there's no way that gets dropped.
Yeah.
But
He will not catch a ball.
in PPR, you got to have a guy who catches the ball.
All right, so the best waiver pickup, I thought, and I think you're going to agree with this, was Lindsey.
Yep,
Running
he's on
back,
mine.
Royce Freeman's counterpart.
Right.
But he looked good. Like, I actually watched him in a few plays, and he was explosive.
I think what's great about him is, like, he was literally... If you had told me Philip Lindsay... I think Philip, right? That's his name?
That's what I want to say.
Yeah, Philip Lindsay. Week 1, you said, Philip Lindsay, you should... I'm like, who is that?
Right.
So that's one of those players every year. You're going to get 1 or 2 that you never heard of.
Like Alvin Kamara last year.
Or Tariq Cohen. You know what I mean? People that,
yeah.
You know what I mean? People that, like, maybe you heard of, but you're not like, no, there's no way.
Cortland Sutton or something has won this year. I mean, he didn't do anything. But I'm just saying, like, those are the names for an example.
These are players you have to keep a track on, but at the same time, like, you got to be, again, it's all based on what league you're in. If you're in a big future league, you pick them up now.
Yeah.
But some people, they're going to wait a week. If he does it 2 weeks, then yeah.
Speaking of, Chris just picked up Aaron Jones, who I was going to sneak back into my lineup. The other running backs on that team don't compare.
Oh, agreed. Aaron Jones is my favorite. Yeah, and it's also if their defense is what I saw the other night, Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing the damn ball.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so who's left that you would pick up? You would suggest to pick up?
Well, first let me get to mine. So obviously you
didn't say yours yet. Yeah. Oh, I thought we were agreeing on Lindsey.
You know, Lindsey I think is the best. If in ESPN
that someone picked up for us,
or in any kind of league, running back is going to be the best pickup you can get because that's the hardest position to cover.
Yeah.
If I had to pick him, if you're in a PPR league, I think Dorsett, which I picked up because I lost a wide receiver over week 1 in Doug Baldwin.
Okay.
Then that's a player that you for the next 4 weeks, I feel like is a good play.
Yeah, because you're actually going to play him.
Right, exactly. And then obviously, I mean, we don't count Patrick Mahomes in our league because the guy who picked him up dropped him after
dropped him like Sunday morning.
But I feel like there are some leagues out there that Patrick Mahomes wasn't drafted, and that's a clear pickup you should have, even if you have a starting quarterback you're going to play every week, because that guy can cover the week he's not playing. And
he was first on my waivers to pick up.
You have a top 10. You have a top 10 QB for the week you have a bye. So there. So yeah, so if there was a player on, we're going to do player on waivers now that we think you should pick up that's probably still there. I'm going to go back to wide receiver, and he's also going to be later on this in one of our segments. And I'm going to say Ryan Grant. Ryan Grant plays for Indianapolis. He plays for Indianapolis. And I liked him coming out of college, and I always thought he was good, but he's kind of one of those you don't know till you see it kind of deals. And Andrew Luck clearly
likes him.
Yeah. The boy got 12 targets, and if we know anything about Indianapolis, hell, they're going to be behind 90% of the time.
Yep.
So,
and I just don't see... He's still on our waivers?
He is still on our waivers, but that's only because I can't find someone worth dropping over him.
Right. That's how I was about a few people. I like Tyrod Taylor if you need a quarterback. In our 10-man league, you don't. Tyrod Taylor this week going up against who Fitzpatrick just torched. Plus, Tyrod Taylor runs the ball well. Fitzpatrick doesn't. Fitzpatrick just ran for 34 yards on him. So, Tyrod Taylor's going to end up getting you 10 points, probably just from running. But I also went receiver. I like Dante Pettis because Marquise Goodwin's out, and Pierre Garçon's going to get shut down.
And there's another one. I don't think he's out there, but in like if you're in an 18 league, okay, he might be out there, and it's just someone, and he might even be on ours. I just didn't even look. But Kenny Stills is someone who I think has a lot of upside if you're playing in you need a big play.
Yeah,
that's just one.
Good old Tannehill. All right, do you want to do the Fool's Gold next?
Yeah, we can do Fool's Gold.
All right, so what we're going to do, at least for the first few weeks, while, things are getting set up, we're going to look at the top 5. Do you want to do finishes for the week?
Well, see, not even all of mine are top 5 players. There's players who did they did way outside their projected scores, okay? And they're players that everyone's targeting and talking about that we don't think, it's not going to be obvious or corresponding, but that we don't think are going to recreate this occurrence again, or at least not often. It's not going to be like, oh, he scored in the top 10. He's going to be a top 10 wide receiver running back for weeks on and weeks out.
All right, now, top 5 quarterbacks.
This one's pretty easy.
In fantasy. I'll start with 5. Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
4 is Mahomes. 3 is Rivers. 2 is Breeze. And 1 is good old Harvard boy Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Right. So, it's clear to say that Fitzy is the one that stands out.
Yep.
I don't think me and you argue about that at all.
Of the other 4, who fits the best that you think is going to stay and who should be out? That's hard.
Okay, so on that note, I would say if New Orleans defense is what we've seen, if that's a true fact, Drew Brees is going to be 1 and 2 every freaking week.
1 and 2, yep. I agree.
Phillip Rivers, I think, is the most difficult one out of these because, yes, they are going to throw the ball a lot, but I also think their defense is a lot better than what they showed.
And he went up against Kansas City, who didn't have anything.
Nobody.
I
So
100% agree. So
that one's.
I guess I'm worried about Aaron Rodgers. I'll throw that in there because he hurt his leg. That's the best I got to add.
We're going to go a little off topic here. I didn't plan on this, but can I just say, Aaron Rodgers, beautiful masterpiece. I didn't get to watch it live like I wanted to, but I watched the replay.
I went to bed because I thought it was going to end up being 30-0.
It was amazing, but let me just say this. Whatever they gave him at halftime, which was clearly Adderall cocaine mixed with codeine, they should give it to him every time. That boy was zonked out of his mind, and he played like a freaking goat.
He was glossy.
He was dragging his broken MCL across the yard and throwing bombs.
I mean, to give credit to his receivers, though, they made some stuff happen.
Yeah.
And Bears just decided to crap the bed in the last 2 minutes. And
Kyle Fuller's dropped INT. That makes your nuts hurt.
But, it happens. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. In this case, it was both. All right, running backs. Top 5 running backs. This one's kind of easy. We'll do top 6. Gurley's there at 6. And he just had a casual day. He's going to be number 1.
Right outside the
Gurley's
top,
still going to be
top
number
ones.
1.
That's mine.
Eckler?
Yeah, that's mine.
I don't know.
All right. So, anyways,
I don't know.
So,
anyways, then we got Chris Thompson. We got Mixon at 4. Melvin Gordon at 3. James Conner at 2. And then Alvin Kamara at 1. Alvin Kamara is going to stay at 1 for the first 4 weeks. And he's going to have built up so much extra that it might last till the end of the season.
Even if I'm let's say I'm wrong about the New Orleans defense and it's not that bad, then that just even increases his amount while Mark Ingram's not there. And Mike Gillislee fumbled twice, or at least once I know of. And so it's Alvin Kamara and nobody else for a while.
Yeah, if I could try to damper the expectations for Alvin Kamara, I guess I should say, is that we still don't know yet if he's able to be the workhorse. Because, let's think of Kareem Hunt last year. Kareem Hunt started off just blitzing everything.
Yeah, agreed.
And then he kind of dropped off to be like a 10 to 15 point guy. And I think he just couldn't carry the load. Can Alvin Kamara carry the load? But the thing is, he's doing this with 17 touches a game.
Yeah.
I
tell you right now, if you watch football, which, like I said, we do pretty religiously, I have never seen a player outside of... This is the closest thing to Jamal Charles I've ever seen personally. And you know how much I love Jamal Charles.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Because when you come into the NFL, you are the top tier of players. So for you to make other top tier players look that bad, amazing. And he is. I ain't gonna lie. I got a man crush on the boy, and I ain't gonna tell you a lie.
Yeah. Anyways, the others. Wait, Joe Mixon's in there because it's counting 2
Did
games.
you do fantasy points for 1 week?
No, it's counting 2 weeks, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. He scored 39 the first week. So that's accurate.
He scored 39 the first week?
And in one of my leagues. He
in
scored
one league.
25.
Oh, it was 25.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, I do like Chris Thompson. He's not going to be top 5. Joe Mixon's not going to be top 5. James Conner.
We don't know. That is in the air.
I don't want to talk about James Conner because he's...
I will say this: let's say Le'Veon Bell doesn't play, I think James Conner is still a top 5 running back because I think he has the skills and the system.
I love Melvin Gordon, but the guy that you just crapped on, Eckler,
I do not. Now, when I say I do not,
he might be better than Melvin Gordon.
And I'm not saying he's not better. What I'm saying is the opportunities and the fact that he got them will not repeat on a consistent basis.
Okay.
That's what I mean by that.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at New Orleans Saints backfield 2.0, though. Last year was Ingram and Kamara not both.
You know what? I didn't think about it that way, so I'll give you props for bringing that up. I did not compare them like that. That makes a lot of sense.
And I feel like you could sense it towards the beginning because you saw I picked up Eckler before I had to drop him to pick up Conner.
Right.
That's who I went for right after Mahomes.
I'm only skeptical because we've seen those two together for long enough periods of time. You know what I'm saying? Like Kamara and Ingram started last year, and they did that from the beginning.
Yeah.
If this is a thing, then it's new, and it's hard to because they've played together for what, at least two 2 years now. So I don't see it.
I think Melvin Gordon is a system back. Okay, like James Conner. Everyone's like, wow, James Conner is amazing.
No.
Because
I mean, he is.
He's not bad.
I mean,
but
he's great.
In no other offense is he picking up 30 points. I
Like,
think Melvin Gordon's that way. I think Eckler might be better than Melvin Gordon.
You put any of the top, you put any starting running back at an NFL team into James Conner's position, they do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
But there's probably 20 backs that are going to.
I think Chris Thompson is, if we're doing like just right here, I think Chris Thompson's the one. Like, if you take away Joe Mixon's injury that just recently happened, Chris Thompson's the one that doesn't belong because, one, AP is clearly getting a lot of carries.
Yeah.
So Chris Thompson literally got that just because the passing game worked out, and Alex Smith is a great passer to running back.
Adrian Peterson
is old as shit.
Amazing. But he's not going to be able to. How many carries did he get? 20 some?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 28, 29 carries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know who the one I
that.
really want to talk about outside of Eckler and Peterson? That one.
Are you pissed off at him?
Am I pissed?
Or
no.
do you expect bad things to happen?
I'm upset because Cody knows why I'm upset.
Because last year you thought.
Because last year I really liked this guy, Isaiah Crowell. I really thought like, okay, this is his time to shine because I've always liked him. I've always really liked him since Georgia. I know he's a good talent, but he always just seems to shit the bed at the worst times. Like pretty much whenever I decide to play him. So
I don't like him. So
I think he's in my possible fool's gold list. But at the same time, like I won't be surprised if it happens again. It's one of those. It's like I don't want to bank on it, but I don't want to shit on it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Those people you just stay away from. Jared Cook.
Go ahead. All right. We've spent way too much time. Let's stop it.
All right. Wide receivers. Pop up. Wide receivers there.
I can go ahead and tell you what yours is.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, it is.
Just like Fitz, it's one of those things like there's no way in hell that happens again.
Right.
At least.
So Deshaun Jackson, yeah, he's out. Emmanuel Sanders, Randall Cobb. Who's going to have the better year?
Probably Randall Cobb.
Oh, I'm going to say Emmanuel Sanders.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I think it's close. My thing is with that is
Demaryius Thomas is the deep guy.
Yeah.
And Keenum has the short arm. So that's why I like Sanders. But
I'm not disagreeing with you. But
Cobb
my thing is
in the slot
so Aaron Rodgers has more history with Randall Cobb. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we've only seen one game and the thing, if it was Randall Cobb and nobody else, I would be worried. But Randall Cobb got his, Devonta Adams got his, outside Jimmy Graham, like he spread the love and Randall Cobb still got his by big.
Oh yeah. Even without that last 15-yard play, he still put up.
And that's my other thing. Like, I just don't see Case Keenum being able to produce enough product for Emmanuel Sanders to do better than Randall Cobb. That's my
right. I think they're comparable, but I like Emmanuel Sanders.
I'm picking the better quarterback, not so much the better wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then tight end. This one's easy too, Drisley.
Oh, yeah, we both wrote down that.
Drisley.
By the way, if you've ever seen this guy run, how the hell did he get in the NFL?
I think he ripped off that play.
Oh, my God. Natalie runs faster than he does. But at the same time, don't get me wrong, he does this second week, especially with Doug Baldwin out. Dude's making it on one of my 3 fantasy teams. I don't know which one, probably my 2 tight end team. He's making it on there just because,
oh my God, it's so boomer bust with tight ends like that.
Oh, it for real is. Okay.
I'm looking for volume when it comes to tight end.
So yeah, we all got that. And then did you write down defense?
No.
All right. Well, I wrote down defense, and I already talked about it, but it's Miami. Miami's defense is not good. They just played a really shitty offense after Mariota got out
during a storm.
They got just a elongated time. Like if you were just looking at stats and you're going, oh, I'm going to play Miami versus the Jets. You're an idiot, so change it up right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe not.
So, which one we want?
Best at each position is next.
Okay, cool.
And my quarterback, simply because of what Phillip Rivers did to him, is Big Ben.
simply because of what Phillip Rivers did to him.
Did to Kansas City.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Agreed.
Big Ben plays.
And for me, it's that, and one, it's a clear, like, you could look it up for the past 10 years. Big Ben at home, guaranteed 300 plus yards.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown, guaranteed a touchdown.
And they just tied Cleveland.
So they're pissed.
I'm pissed for them.
We're all pissed.
Oh, man.
I think Big Ben is, sadly, since we both picked it, I'm worried that it's a lot of people's favorite player for the week. But at the same time, I don't care because it's not going to change my mind.
Right.
That's how much I believe that.
And I'm going to jump to wide receiver after that. Obviously, if I like Big Ben.
We have the same
My favorite
thing.
receiver is Antonio Brown.
Yep. You can't beat that. The best wide receiver in the game with a quarterback that is going to go ham.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Running back. I wrote down 2 because
okay.
if you don't write down Kamara, you're a moron. I don't care who they play. They could be playing the Rams, and I'm still like, he's got to go top 5.
He's just purely on touches.
You could tell me he's only playing half a game of football, and I'm still taking Alvin Kamara. But the other one that I really like, unfortunately, is Christian McCaffrey.
I didn't want us to pick.
We just had the same.
I know we know not the same everything, but because we already talked about this. See, this is where we fuck up on this sometimes. We talk too much football with each other, so we already know because he's a Falcons fan. I'm a Panthers fan. We already talked about this. They have too many defensive players out. Mm-hmm. And Ron Rivera literally just came out and said, "I want Christian McCaffrey to at least get 20 carries a game and 10 catches a game." So 30 touches versus a defense that's lacked, and I got to play him.
Yep.
He's got to be one of my top players for the week.
Yeah, a lot of people look at what just happened. We just lost Keanu Neal, who is our safety that comes up and stuffs the run. And we lost Deion Jones, who is the linebacker that is fast enough
to cover run.
His job is to stay with the running back. A lot of people are like, oh, that affects tight end. Everyone pick up Ian Thomas.
Which I'm still excited about Ian Thomas.
Yeah, Ian Thomas, because you never know. Maybe we're going to try to be like, well, we got to figure out how to shut down McCaffrey. So Ian Thomas is going to rip off 2 massive touchdowns. You don't know. But no, that's Devondre Campbell's job, he's fantastic. So I'm a little worried about my tight end pickup, but I honestly think we're going to overcompensate to stop Christian McCaffrey. That Ian Thomas is actually going to rip off a couple big ones.
That's fine. I'm
okay but you know, it's too easy to pick McCaffrey because he's without Deion Jones. Deion Jones is the only one quick enough and fast enough to stay with him.
We'll see. But
all right, and then here's your tight end.
Oh, my tight end is someone you've already brought up, and it's because Jared Cook. So Jared Cook, right? Everyone's going, it's just a game. Amari Cooper wasn't worth a shit. Like, they covered Amari Cooper. It's the Rams' defense. It is the Rams' defense. But let me tell you, Denver's defense isn't that far behind on covering wide receivers. And Amari Cooper clearly isn't that great where he just breaks off and makes defenses look stupid.
Right.
And it's clear when Amari Cooper isn't available, Jared Cook is and will be, or at least the tight end position, his favorite target.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you right now, Jared Cook's going to get another 9 to 11 targets, and that's why I'm picking him.
And he'll catch 2 of them for 18 yards.
And a touchdown. Maybe. We'll see. But I'm saying, if I had to pick a tight end outside of, like, all right, so, because, you know, this is our best player at position, like, I'm not going to pick Gronk because that's too obvious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick, Kelsey.
And he's going against the Jaguars. I mean, he's still going to get his.
Exactly. But. So, but I'm saying, like, as when it comes to matchup and play, in Denver last year, horrible against the tight end. So I'm playing Cook.
We'll see.
I like Cook.
And my favorite by far is George Kittle.
Picking my ESPN league, I'm so excited he was still available. Not excited.
You got him in. Oh
yeah. After because like I had Njoku, and so so like I picked him up like immediately.
Yeah.
Because like that's Garoppolo's favorite target.
Yes.
It's clear.
And Marquise Goodwin's out, so
and there's no other red zone target for that boy. And all right, Minnesota's defense amazing. Jimmy Garoppolo is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo's good, and like if you watched last game, George Kittle could have had a 30-point game.
Agreed.
So I don't see why 15 points isn't out of the question every single week.
Oh, God, we're making this way too long. But
That's okay.
Just like
We'll wrap it
George
up in
Kittle
about a
could have had a 30-game. I think we should have a segment about players who didn't show out and definitely will, like a part of our Full of Gold thing. Because I think Evan Ingram, I know I have him in one of our leagues, so you're going to think I'm biased.
I don't like him.
But if you watch the game, he had 2 huge plays called back.
Yeah.
Because of penalties. And he was actually targeted. He just didn't get the plays, is what it was. And it's Jacksonville's defense.
Why was the play called back, though?
One time because of holding on the line, and one time because of foul on him.
Okay, so foul on him to get open, and one holding on the line.
But it's Jacksonville's defense.
But it took a long time for the play to develop. So you got to take that into account, too, even though it got
I think you
called back.
also have to take into the account of Jacksonville's defense that they actually have the ability to cover OBJ, Sterling Shepard, and him. Yeah. Other people don't. They're going to concentrate on OBJ, right, and then Evan Ingram's going to come open. Or Saquon Barkley. I mean, now that's the other effect. But that's just my take on it.
He could have a good game, but not with new legs of Saquon Barkley. So, okay. All right, real quick, let's try to wrap it up in a minute or two. Finally, let's look at our lineups.
So we're gonna make a lineup based on DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the only one we really use, huh?
All Sunday games.
Yeah, all Sunday games. The 13 games available. So you pretty much you get a lot amount of money, and you have to make a lineup based off that on who you think is going to do the best and what value you can get them for. So Cody's gonna go first.
I went heavy gamble. Late. I went Tyrod Taylor because he's cheap and I like his legs up against New Orleans. But then I went exactly who I picked: Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
I think they're gonna ball out. So why don't I take both of them? Because in my mind, I mean, we even said it before the game was started. We're like, Tampa Bay scored their first touchdown. I was like, dang, I should have just picked all 3 of them: quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
And they did amazing.
And you would have won money in every single league that you ever made with that. And but I know to play them, so I'm going to play them. The others that I like, my 3 receivers, I went with Nelson Aguilar. Please tell me you did not play Nelson Aguilar.
See, we're too much alike. This is where it gets bad.
So I went with Nelson Aguilar.
We did a little different.
Going up against Tampa Bay. We just saw what happened to Tampa Bay with number 1 receiver. I like... I like Mike Evans. I just thought about that. Because you know who did good? That would be a good combination. Go for Fitz again with Mike Evans because Julio Jones just tore him up. Anyways, Mike Evans isn't Julio Jones, though. All right. I also went with Josh Gordon because I think a lot of less people are playing him this week.
Oh, I mean, he
could get the big one. He's big-time gamble going with Josh Gordon.
Yes. So just to be clear, this is the lineup we think will make the most money. If you're going for consistency, ignore this shit.
Yeah.
This is not a consistency. This is gambling. If you want a consistent lineup, leave a comment. I'll give you one. I can give you one that'll score
50-50s, yeah.
Whatever you want.
Better than half.
Yeah.
You can do that. I went with Dante Pettis. Already talked about him. Went with George Kittle. And then my flex, I could have went with Cook. But I went with Jack Doyle.
I'm going to give you a little just friendly advice here. So if you're going to play Pettis and George Kittle, this is something for everybody else to do. Mm-hmm. If you're going to play 2 players from the same team catching a ball,
he gets it down the field. He gets it in the end zone.
No, that's fine. But if you're going to do that, so who's going to do awesome if they do awesome? Fucking how much difference?
Not necessarily.
How much difference is Tyrod Taylor and Garoppolo?
Like 200. I don't know how much I have left.
Like, is it 200 less or 200 more?
200. He's less than Garoppolo. But I like Tyrod Taylor because of his legs. I think he's going to rush for a touchdown. I like Pettis because I think he's going to get a lot of yards. Yeah. Okay, let's say Pettis gets 5 catches for 100 yards. That's perfect for my cheapest player. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
I'm okay with 15 points from Pettis. I think Kittle's going to be the one to get in the end zone. 670 and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that could still equate to Garoppolo getting 20 to 25 points. You know?
No, I like it.
I mean, I like stacking, don't get me wrong, but...
I was just, like, if you're going to play 2 players from the same team that are catching a ball, I usually play the quarterback. But anyways, all right, so continue. I apologize for stopping you.
Well, I went with Jack Doyle, and then Rams defense up against Arizona.
Fair enough. All right.
Arizona's not good.
This is the moneymaker. All right. So, we already talked about him. And since I literally think he's going to be the best maybe not just quarterback, but fantasy play of the week, Big Ben's my quarterback at $6,900, which is a little expensive for me.
But
I won't
no one's
lie.
going to be playing him. If he's the Fitzpatrick this week.
I don't think so. And like I said, usually when people are down somebody, that's when you want to play them, especially in tournaments. So there you go. Then I have, as my cheap running back play, I have Yeldon. Fournette, probably, I'll change this out if Fournette plays. But if Fournette doesn't play, Yeldon's getting all the carries. Jacksonville does nothing but run the ball literally 8 out of 10 plays. So he's going to get his touches. He's going to get yards. I think after Fournette went out, he still scored. I think he scored 20 points. So that's cheap for $5,600. Christian McCaffrey, we already talked about playing him. So we agree on that. Obviously, if I'm playing Big Ben, I'm playing Antonio Brown, which is my most expensive player.
Nice. You
got to go with that. Like I said, stack. Aguilar, I'm playing. Clearly because what Michael Thomas did to Tampa Bay. And I feel like, again, if this is a continuous thing with Tampa Bay scoring points and Philadelphia scoring points, then
I'm going to be real pissed when Mike Wallace has 2 catches for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I will too. But Nelson Aguilar is the number 1 receiver. So if you're going to play a team you think it's going to score points, you pick the number 1 receiver.
Very comfortable with Aguilar.
My cheap play, 4,300, Ryan Grant. I was in between him and Dorsett because I like both of them, obviously, in a PPR format. But Dorsett's playing Jacksonville. I don't know how that's going to work out. Like when I said waiver wires earlier, I want you to pick up Dorsett. I'm not so sure you play him this week, right? I don't think it's hard to play just because you don't know how it's going to work out. So those are my 3 wide receivers. Talked about them already. Cook is my tight end. I think I'm guaranteed 9 targets. If that's 9 targets for 60 yards, I'm happy as can be for $3,600.
Yeah, that's true.
And then because I did all these cheap kind of like throw plays as my flex,
How many people are going to play him?
Yeah, exactly. And such as my flex, though, is cheap. I love my flex. We haven't talked about him yet, but because I talked about how bad Derrick Henry is, I love Deion Lewis in PPR, anything. I think Deion Lewis is another great play for $5,000. Give it to me all day. And then after watching the Jets defense, I love the Jets defense versus Miami. So I'm playing the Jets defense for a cheap play, and that's how I get to play Big Ben and Antonio Brown. Done.
All right, cool. I like it. Next week.